Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of On the Mark. I'm your host, Mark Brantley, and it's Wednesday, and every Wednesday from 8 to 10, we are here, through the grace of God, to have a conversation with you about matters that are impacting the island of Nevis, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, our Caribbean region that we're privileged to call our home, and the wider global community. This is a show that is widely listened to. It's a huge platform, and from time to time, persons take the opportunity to call in to share their views and opinions, because there's a segment of the show when we open the phones and turn the show over to you. I keep saying that what we want on this show are conversations. We want meaningful dialogue. We want, at the end of the day, that those who are listening are enlightened, not confused or befuddled, not left with the impression that we here in Nevis can't debate and discuss. And that is why I say all the time that we can disagree. We can even disagree vehemently, but let us not become disagreeable. This show is not a show for insults. It's not a show for disrespect. It's a show where we maintain the best standards of what we are known for in Nevis: intellect and ability. And, of course, what Von Radio is known for, where we say only the best will do. Tonight, we have a lot of ground to cover, but before I get into that, let me take the opportunity to publicly express my deepest condolences to the Brown family there in Prospect on the loss of their son, Greg Brown, brother, and dearly loved family member. Greg passed away, unfortunately, in an incident at the Bath Stream, and I take this opportunity to extend my sincerest condolences to his mom and his siblings. I also, of course, extend condolences to my dear friend Mem, Bernadette Wallace, better known to everybody as Mem, because Greg worked around her and with her for a very, very long time. As someone commented this morning, one wouldn't tell that Mem had mango trees in her yard because you could never see any fallen mangoes or fallen leaves on the ground. That is how clean Greg kept her space. And so we know he'll be missed, and we extend heartfelt condolences. May the prayers of the multitude comfort you, the family, in your time of bereavement. To all of those who are out there, others who may be bereaved, others who may be hospitalized, I extend my thoughts and prayers to you. And certainly, of course, on the other side of the coin, there are others who may be celebrating a birthday, or celebrating an anniversary, celebrating a graduation and a promotion, or some such, and I extend my congratulations and warm wishes to you as well. Now, this evening we have a few guests, and we start with Miss Denicia Smitten. Is still Miss?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Miss Denicia Smitten, who is the head of our Community Affairs Department in Government. And Miss Smitten, welcome to the show. I think you've been here before.
Yes,
yes?
I have.
So welcome back to
Thank
On the
you.
Mark. And I am inviting you, I'm turning things over to you. So you've come to tell us what's happening with community development. Incidentally, before you start talking, let me go on record. I did so in my press conference just yesterday, but let me go on record to congratulate you and your team. I think that you're doing amazing work in the community, and I think sometimes it goes unmentioned. I wouldn't say unnoticed, because you're impacting people at the grassroots, at the community level, but sometimes it goes unmentioned, and I want to publicly tonight thank you and your team for the excellent work that you're doing. I know that you're having a series of events and celebration, and so I turn things over to you so that you can let the general public know what's happening and what they can expect.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. Good night, listening audience. My name is Denicia Smitten, and this month at the Department of Community Development, we celebrated Community Development Month, and our last event is the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival, and it is slated for this coming Saturday. That's Saturday, May 30th. At the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. So at this event, you will be able to try different foods and traditional dishes from various countries. The countries that we have on board this year: St. Kitts and Nevis. We have several African countries: Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, the Philippines, Dominican Republic, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, India and Japan. Entry fee is just $5. Our entertainment is going to include none other than DJ Zimba. We'll also have several cultural performances. Kudos to Nevis Cultural Development Foundation for coming on board. For that, we'll also have Honeybee's String Band, and the evening will end with garlic and the upper level band. One of the major activities we'll have for that day is the domino competition, and I just want to thank Honorable Premier Mark Brantley and the Honorable Eric Evelyn and the Nevis Community Development Steel Orchestra for sponsoring the domino competition. And so the prizes for that are $1,000 for first place, $700 for second place, and $500 for third place. And so the entry to register for that is just $40 for a team of 2. And so we're encouraging persons to come out and participate. We'll also have cooking demonstrations, and Chef Michael Henville will be preparing a dish made from breadfruit. We'll also have a cooking demonstration on how to make cassava bread. We'll also have several games and activities. We'll have watermelon eating competition, the three-legged race. We'll also have sack racing and so much more. We'll also have a kids zone and so much more. I can go on and on. So I'm just encouraging the general public to come out this Saturday. It's going to be a fun-filled day, a day to remember, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you.
Ms. Smitten, you have just listed what almost sounds like the United Nations in terms of various nationalities. When you say Japan, what will they be serving? Sushi? I'm wondering what kind of cuisine that we're going to get from the Japanese.
They'll be serving mostly like sushi and that type of thing, like fish and stuff like that.
Okay, so we have Japan, we have India, we have the Philippines. I think that there's a wider message here. First of all, let me commend you again and your team, because putting this type of event together really demonstrates that we welcome people to our shows. We welcome the diversity that they bring. But there is a bigger message, in my opinion, because who would have thought that Nevis would be home to all of these different nationalities at this stage? Who would have thought that people from Japan and India and the Philippines would now be calling Nevis their home, to the point where they are here and participating in an event such as this and sharing their culture, their culinary treats. I can tell you that I was there on the last one, and the Filipino food in particular was excellent.
Yes.
I really enjoyed myself being there, and so I join you in encouraging people to come out. But I think it shows how Nevis is evolving. There are some out there who figure that Nevis should remain the same, but nothing remains the same. And Nevis, just like we're evolving, Nevis is evolving, and the consequence of that is that we're now attracting people from around the globe. And so not only from the Caribbean, but clearly much farther afield, you're getting people coming in from far-flung areas. Japan and India are as far away from us as one could imagine, and yet they're here. Yet this is now their home, and they are, of course, participating and being part of the community. And I think that is something to be said for you and your team, that you're reaching out to them,
Yes.
and letting them know that they are welcomed and that we appreciate their contribution.
And funny thing is, I traveled a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of persons told me they love Nevis very much and they would love to move here. A lot of people really love Nevis. They love the tranquility, the peacefulness, and just the overall vibes. They love the people. They love the cleanliness. And so we have a lot of persons who are living here who have adapted to the island. They love living here. And so the Heritage Festival is basically to celebrate all ethnicities, everybody who is here, who foreign nationals, and just celebrate that overall culture, community. The atmosphere will be very warm, and we want to have active participation. We want people to be involved in the games. The games will be very fun. I forgot to mention we'll also have a beer drinking competition, and Nevis Peak Brewery will be sponsoring that, and we are thankful for Nevis Peak Brewery for coming on board and sponsoring that, just to have a little fun. And so the Heritage Festival basically is to celebrate everybody who resides on island. We want people to come out, and we want the different country representatives to have those persons come out. Last year, Philippines had a huge contingent,
Yes, they did,
contingent, and they had Philippines love Nevis shirts, so it was very nice to see, and we are expecting a lot of that this year.
Good. Well, again, commendations. I join you in really asking the public to come out and support. I think that this event is at the MGR Park.
Yes.
It's on Saturday. It starts at what time, remind us?
12.
Starts at 12 noon, and it is only $5.
It is only $5, and for $5 you get so much. You get a wonderful experience. You also get the chance to win something. We have several prizes, so we will be raffling certain things such as the Caribou Lottery scratch off tickets that they would have sponsored. We are also going to raffle some rum from Clifton Estate. We're going to raffle several other items. So it will be, you spend $5, but you get a wonderful experience and you get a chance to win something. So I would say it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, for $5, I think that's the cheapest entertainment
Yes.
that one could get, because you also have, as you say, DJ Zimba.
Yes.
You have Garlic. Garlic alone is worth millions, because
Yes.
when Garlic starts to perform, you know, it's the place shell down, as the young people say. So I think for $5, that is eminently reasonable. I don't know that you can get much for $5 anymore in Nevis. So this is really just a token contribution that people are being asked to make. And so certainly we expect the park to be filled with people, because it is really and truly a worthwhile event. And so long as I have strength, I assure you that I intend to be there, to be a part of it, because last year when I was there, I really had a wonderful time tasting the different flavors from the different countries, and it was really enjoyable. So thank you again, Ms. Smitten. I don't know if there's anything further that you want to share with us about your month of activities.
Well, quickly, if I can highlight our sponsors, because without them, this event wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank. I want to thank the Bank of Nevis Limited, St. Kitts Nevis Credit Union, Honorable Mark Brantley, because you are sponsoring the domino competition, Honorable Spencer Brand, Honorable Eric Evelyn, Laws and Sons, Hamron Services, Chills Beach Bar and Grill, Flow, Digicel, Clifton Estate Rum, Nevis Peak Brewery, TDC Group of Companies Limited, Caribbean Lottery, Royal Electronics, Nelson Spring, Nevis Community Development Steel Orchestra, Nevis Cultural Development Foundation. We also want to thank the Nevis Island Administration, because without them as well, this would not be possible. The Ministry of Social Empowerment, led by the Honorable Janelle Nisbet. I want to also thank Nevis Land and Housing Development Corporation, the Ministry of Tourism, Public Works Department, Department of Agriculture, Department of Information, Nevis Tourism Authority, and last but not least, the staff at the Department of Community Development, as well as the committee members for the Heritage Festival. And I just wanted to also highlight Seal My Sip will be there as well with their guava smoothie. I don't remember the name, but it is specially crafted for the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival. So I'm encouraging all of you to go and try the guava smoothie that will be at Seal My Sip. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Smitten, and I wish the event every success. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Have a good night.
All right, great. So that is Miss Denise Smitten, who came to share with us some information about the Heritage event, Heritage Festival event that is happening at the Malcolm Gishard Park. That happens this coming Saturday, beginning at 12 noon. And the whole idea behind this is to celebrate the different cultures, ethnicities who now call Nevis home. I am very, very impressed to see the multiplicity of ethnicities that have decided that Nevis is their home, and we welcome them. I like to tell them to bring friends. Nevis needs people, and we need good people, people who are going to come and contribute. So, as we say, we move out of that and into this, and we have here with us the king himself. That is a veteran of our Kaiso Arena. It's Culturama time, of course. We're gearing up for Culturama 52. And over the years, we've had a tradition here on the Mark where King This and That, the man who has participated in more Culturamas than anybody else, he is here to release his first song. He usually doesn't give us two. He does the first song. And so, King, welcome back to On the Mark.
Thank you, Mark, and good evening to you. And I want to thank you right up front for giving me the opportunity to release on this worldwide listening to program. Good evening to all our listeners to this program at this time. I know you are anxiously waiting to hear what it is that I will be releasing this evening.
We are indeed anxious, and I'm told the song is with Von Radio. And so before we play the song, you want to tell us a little bit about what it's about, or you just want to get into the song itself?
Well, if you remember last year, Mark, there was quite a bit of talk about the Culturama dead.
Yes.
Because the marketing started off a little later than usual. And the song is basically saying nothing could be further from the truth, because it was a wonderful Culturama.
Of course.
And that is, and the name of the song, Mark, I call it Culturama Alive and Well.
All right. Can we give it a listen then? Culturama Alive and Well. This is King This and That with his release debuting here on the Mark for Culturama 52.
Some people spread some false rumors last year. I am here to tell you that it was not true. False rumor. All the talking tongue last year was what? Culturama dead, dead. There is nothing further from the truth. But that is what some people really wanted. So they put their whole life on mute. But the same masquerade and clowns was there. The same string band was ringing in the air. I agree that troops and bands were small. They didn't participate at all. Yet they are the first to criticize, my friend, about the troops and bands, small size. But then, their intent was to ensure Culturama fail. They want a bull pistol in the tail. This Culturama will sure prevail. This festival belongs to all of us. So why you want to pull it down? As a division, we culture must come first. So let we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come let me dingo late. Let me play with mass with a touch of class. Last lap and juve. Celebrate in the morning, celebrate in the evening, celebrate in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die. So get yourself in line, and then we have a jolly good time. This one just sweet boy. Whether you want to believe it or not, last year was real nice. All of the shows was of a high class, but some people listen to bad advice and refuse to come out and play the mass. But Tuesday morning jamming was packed like hell. The culture committee made sure that went well. Even though Odyssey wasn't there, it was one of the largest juve. Bands was jamming from the north and south. Revelers came on the street from all about. It was bacchanal and splendor, music everywhere, with division culture in the air. It was a real cultural atmosphere. This festival belongs to all of us. So why you want to pull it down? As a division, we culture must come first. So let we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come let me dingo late. Let me play with mass with a touch of class. Last lap and juve. Celebrate in the morning, celebrate in the evening, celebrate in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die. So get yourself in line, and then we have a jolly good time. That was the cry from shore to shore. And when the festival was ended, revelers was bawling for more. Now no doubts about the festival. Now that the rumor wasn't true at all. The panorama was really great, and lovers came out and participate. The Sultan and my friends was exciting, especially when Adowa was crowned the king. All who spread propaganda last year wasn't good, probably was in a vexing mood. Last year festival went really smooth. This festival belongs to all of us, so why you want to pull it down? As a division we culture must come first, so that we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come let me dingole, let me play with mass with a touch of class. Laugh, laugh and juve, celebrate in the morning, in the evening, in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die, so get yourself in line and let me have a jolly good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. King This and That, talking about Culturama last year and saying that it's very much alive. King, I like the song. I like the fact that it is up-tempo. It's something that you could dance to. If I could dance, I would dance. But it is a fascinating way that you take something that's topical, something that's current, and translate that into a song. Now, as the song was playing, it occurred to me that you have participated. We're doing Culturama 52 this year, and you've participated in 51 of those. 51 Culturamas. That means 51 years you have been singing for Culturama. I think that deserves the highest commendations. I want to ask you though, and I suspect that I've asked you this question before, how do you do it? How do you create you continue to have the creative juices, and how is it you avoid, for example, being repetitive or doing the same song over and over again? Every year you come out with 2 brand new calypsos, and you've done that for 51 years. How does This and That do that?
The answer is the same, Mark. The love for it. And that's like asking me, or me asking you, how do you get to be a lawyer? Why do you practice law? It is because you love it, you know it, it is your thing. It's the same thing with Calypso. It is my thing. I have a serious love for it. And the beauty about it, like I always say, I'm able to write my own songs, compose them, arrange them, perform them. So for me, it's a win-win situation, and it's a real strong love between me and Calypso. That is where the whole drive comes from. So topics, I choose and I deal with the topics relevantly. I mean, some people write songs and there's no relevance to the topic. With me, it's always relevance from line 1 come all the way down to the end. The relevance must be there at the start and the end of the song.
And how do you decide? I'm a little curious about your creative process. So how do you decide, for example, this is what I'm going to sing about this year?
Well, first you get the topic. And once you get the topic, you start thinking about the lines and putting the lines together. You get 1, 2, 3 lines, and you just continue on relevant to the topic that you're writing. And once you get a verse and a chorus, the rest actually is just a matter of words. Because once you get a verse and a chorus, the tune is already... I always write the song with the tune. So once I finish a verse and a chorus, I could just go to the studio with that because I already have the tune and everything in my head.
I got you. So you do all aspects of it yourself?
All aspects.
So
of it.
in your career, have you ever thought that there may be some benefit in, for example, getting a writer or getting an arranger or somebody like that to bring a different sort of perspective to what you do?
The answer is no. I would have been offered from some other persons, but I always believe mine is better. You know, because I know what I want to sing, I know what the song is about, I know what I want to portray, and so forth. The person, yes, could write, and the person could write and arrange and so forth. But I like doing my own thing. And so far I've been successful with it, and I love what I do with it, of course.
I want to play something else, King This and That. There's a song that I played last week. It's a kind of funny and witty, but I want to play it because, one, it has created a lot of discussion. A lot of people have been calling me about it, but I want to play it because I want to ask you a question once I've played it. So can we cue up that song? It's a song that is called Cuss Mark, and it was played here last week for the first time.
Hey, hey! You ever see people vex for no reason? No matter what happened, same chorus. Any little thing, cuss mark. If progress ring, cuss mark. Sun come out bright, cuss mark. Rainfall whole night, cuss mark. Trying to build up Navy strong. Same old chorus, same old song. Cuss mark, cuss mark, cuss mark. We say we bring in more water supply. I preach village, tank reach high. Instead of thanks, you know they remark. Before the tap turn on, cuss mark. We fix the road, make travel smooth. Everybody riding with a brand new groove. But pothole gone, that still leave a mark. Because they vex so, cuss mark. Any little thing, cuss mark. If progress ring, cuss mark. Fix up the place, nice and clean. Still they grumbling in between. Cuss mark, cuss mark, cuss mark. Water taxi docked by hourly bay. People moving quicker every day. Tourists smiling, business park from the shoreline. Cuss mark. More jobs coming, people employed. Young man working, mama overjoyed. But success alone could raise alarm. So they answer back, cuss mark. If mango sweet, cuss mark. If mango sour, cuss mark. Morning, evening, any hour, boy, you can't please them at all. Mondo track for the athletes run. Now Navy shining in the Caribbean sun. Records breaking, hear the remark from the sideline. Cuss mark. Even when the sun just shines so bright, or rain falls soft in the night, weather itself getting a talk. Cloud pass by, cuss mark. Any little thing, cuss mark. Progress rising, cuss mark. Navy's moving step by step. Still they haven't stopped yet. Laughing all the way to the bank. While they grumble, we give thanks. All together now, cuss mark. Cuss mark. Cuss mark. Cuss mark.
Okay, so this and that, I played that song because it's funny, it's witty. People have been really responding to it. But I also played for another reason. That song was entirely created by AI. So I got an app. I told the app what I wanted, and it created that song. How does AI impact what you're doing? Clearly, AI has not been around until recently. So if you've done 51 Culturama 40, you couldn't be using AI. Probably even Culturama 45 and 47. It's a fairly new technology. But that seems to be the rage now. I see even people are doing ads. I hear some ads for some of the big companies here. It's all AI generated. In fact, that song, Cuss Mark, people love it so much. Somebody asked me, who's the artist? And can you bring them here to perform that song? So it gives you a sense of what's out there. So I'm asking you now, how does that impact you as an artist, your creative process? Because literally, I could go to AI and say, hey, they say last year Culturama was dead. here's my idea, come up with a song. And it give you lyrics, arrangement, music. It even give you somebody to sing it for you. So I'm trying to understand how, if at all, is that impacting what you're doing?
Well, it wouldn't impact me because like I say, I write for myself, arrange and everything, so it wouldn't impact me. But clearly, that is the direction that quite a few people are going. And I had the chairman of Culture Army here, and because what AI lacks is originality. It's nice and could give you everything. With AI, you don't need anything. Like you say, just put in some words and it spit back the answers to you and give you a nice creative song like the one you just played. But in a competition, AI is good for everything. I mean, dance hall, you don't need a DJ you put on. I mean, you could do everything with it. But in a competition, you have what is called originality. You have the character personality that you're dealing with. You know, you're able to, define the characters that you're singing about. And then you're able to go in depth into the topic that you're doing. You notice AI will only give you 4 or 5 lines and down the line like that. So it is fine, and like I say, it is direction that music is heading. But for me, I write a little deeper than that, and I like my own kind of writing. If I am doing a song for a little dance or a little show, I could always pull up the AI. I have nothing against AI because I already seen that is the direction that the world is heading, And I have heard some wonderful AI songs, And like people say, when I heard the first one, I wouldn't tell you where I heard it, I asked the same question, who is the artist? Because he was sounding real good until I find out that is AI production, and an individual friend of mine played the same song, but with a female voice. And with AI, you could play the same song and add arrangement, and you keep adding and adding and adding.
Sure.
So AI is here to stay and so forth. But I like my own thing, because I know.
So, but do you see? Because I think some people are afraid of AI. They see that it will somehow detract, take away from what they do. Do you see that there's any potential for AI to actually complement? So you clearly have natural talent. That's obvious. You couldn't be doing this for this long without that talent. But could AI, for example, complement that? What I mean by that is, as you talk about arrangements, so yes, you come up with your arrangement, but do you think AI could say, man, let's improve that, let's make that better, so it becomes a tool, just like any other tool?
Of course, AI is I don't think people understand yet how dangerous AI is in terms of its impact. Because with AI, you actually don't even need a band. Because AI gives you everything. It gives you the background vocals. All you need is some equipment. And everything comes through that thing. The background vocals, you singing along with the arrangement that they have. So AI is a very dangerous thing, and AI is the way the world is going right now.
Well, there's another question that arises, because here you are explaining tonight what your creative process is. This is King This and That. Like him, don't like him, he's here every year, and this is his output. And I think you have been singing and producing and arranging at a very high standard. Do you, King This and That, feel like Culture Armor 52 is coming up? Naturally, we expect that you are going to be going for the crown, and you want to be crowned Kaiso King of Nevis. That's what everybody goes into the competition, I hope, for. Is there a concern on your part that when it gets to the Culture Armor season, in terms of the creativity, that you will really be competing against technology? So that you may say to me tonight that, nah, King This and That isn't interested in that, because King This and That is confident that he could write and he could arrange. Another youngster, they may say, man, I'm not going through all of that, I'm going to push this thing through AI. I'm going to generate a song. Once I have the lyrics, I have the arrangement, I just go to the studio with that. And I think that is, you use the word dangerous, but that I think is problematic, because it could well be that in that competition you have individuals who are singing based on their talent and what lyrics they've come up with, an arrangement, and you have others who didn't write a word, didn't arrange a lick of music, they come to the studio with everything prepackaged by the computer, and basically they're just a singer. All they've done is provide some vocals. How do you think judges can deal with that?
And now you come to the point. I've said to the chairman, off air, of course, in private, that a policy needs to be put in place. Because you're right. Once you get that AI stuff and give it free rein, you're going to have people who are not even Calypsonians. You don't have to be a Calypsonian.
Sure.
You just go to AI, get the lyrics, get the tune, and you're gone.
You hear my song just now, Cuss Mark?
Exactly.
That's my song.
And I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it a lot. So you're going to have that. What you need to do, the Cultural Committee, is to put a policy in place for the competition, because competition is totally different. You know, and yes, some people are going to sing AI, but you have to go up and deliver the AI. I was the guest artist at the Caribbean Queens competition in Monkshot, and while I was there, they had the Monkshot Calypso competition, and one girl came with her AI song. The band couldn't play it. I mean, she stopped. It stopped about 5 times because she wasn't mixing with the band. You got to be very careful with that too, because remember, AI is going to give you a totally different tone to what the band will come up with. So you have to make sure it mesh. I know one Calypsonian here in Nevis who's using AI. He tell me he's using AI. I had to send it to the arranger and try to get it straight now. So it's not straightforward. If you listen to it on the ear, it sounds nice. But once you want to use it in competition, you have to go to an arranger and get that thing compatible to what it is the band will want or what it is you will want to be doing and so forth. Because it's a totally different ball game. You know, but in terms of competition, AI is good, but in terms of competition, if you don't put a policy in place to deal with that, in terms of its judging system, you're going to have a problem.
King This and That, we can talk all night, but thank you very much for being here. Do we have the song queued up? Let's play it one last time as King This and That leaves. This is his debut for Culturama 52. King This and That, who's always here with us and On The Mark. He has come back this year yet again for his 51st Culturama. Imagine that. 52 years we've been having Culturama, and King This and That has been singing for 51 years. This is his first song for Culturama 52. Big debut here this evening on The Mark.
Culturama live and well. Some people spread some false rumors last year. I am here to tell you that it was not true. False rumor. All the talking tongue last year was what? Culturama dead. There is nothing further from the truth. But that is what some people really wanted. So they put their whole life on mute. But the same masquerade and clowns was there. The same string band was ringing in the air. I agree that troops and bands were small. They didn't participate at all. Yet they are the first to criticize, my friend, about the troops and bands. Small size, but then their intent was to ensure Culturama fail. They want a bull pistol in their tail. This Culturama will sure prevail. This festival belongs to all of us. So why you want to pull it down? As a division, we culture must come fast. So let we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come, let me dingo lay. Let me play with mass with a touch of class. Laugh, lap and juve. Celebrate in the morning, in the evening, in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die. So get yourself in line, and then we have a jolly good time. This one, yeah, sweet one. of the shows was of a high class, but some people listen to bad advice and refuse to come out and play the mass. But Juve morning jamming was packed like hell. The culture committee made sure that went well. Even though Odessi wasn't there, it was one of the largest Juve. Bands was jamming from the north and south. Revelers came on the street from all about. It was bacchanal and splendor, music everywhere, with the vision culture in the air. It was a real cultural atmosphere. This festival belongs to all of us. So why you want to pull it down? As a division we culture must come fast, so that we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come let me dingole, let me play with mass with a touch of class. Last lap and Juve, celebrate in the morning, in the evening, in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die, so get yourself in line, and then we have a jolly good time. Culturama real dread. That was the cry from shore to shore. And when the festival was ended, revelers was bawling for more. Now no doubts about the festival. No that the rumor wasn't true at all. The panorama was really great, and lovers came out and participated. The Sultan Monarch, my friends, was exciting, especially when Adowa was crowned the king. All who spread propaganda last year wasn't good, probably was in a vexing mood. Last year festival went really smooth. This festival belongs to all of us, so why you want to pull it down? As a division we culture must come fast, so that we make it healthy and strong. Let your patriotism shine through, my friend. Stop the negatives and do you do again. Let me celebrate, let me make it great. Come let me dingole, let me play with mass with a touch of class. Last lap and Juve, celebrate in the morning, in the evening, in the sunshine, oh come. It's division time, so wine. Culturama will never die, so get yourself in line, and then we have a jolly good time.
King this and that, Culturama 52. King, thank you very much for being here and choosing On The Mark yet again to release your songs for Culturama.
And thank you very much, Mark, for giving me the opportunity. Let me just say that I want to big up Wes, you know, my arranger, Wes in Coal Hill there.
Yes.
And people would believe, well, all that music was done right here in English. You don't have to go nowhere to arrange it. It was all done there at the West Studio. And we have a very good working relationship. So I want to thank him very much. And I look forward to early July when we release the other one.
Fantastic.
So thank you very much, Mark. And For the listeners, enjoy.
All right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was King This and That. And again, out the gate early for Culturama 52 with, I believe, what anyone would say is a monster jam. He uses this platform each year for his release, and I'm grateful to him for that. And certainly wish him all the very best in the competition. But 52 years of Culturama, he has been singing for 51 of those 52 years. Win, lose, or draw. He comes back each year. I know sometimes young Calypsonians get in the ring, they don't win. People start to tell them, oh, you get cheat, and they don't come back. Don't let anybody discourage you. Here is an example. King This and That, Keith Scarborough, OBE. He is demonstrated that there is something to stick-to-itiveness. There's something to having the patience, having the perseverance, and he has been there, and I believe no one can truly argue that he's an icon of Kaiso and an icon of Culturama. So King This and That, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is On The Mark. I'm your host, Mark Brantley, and I believe at this point I'll just open the phone lines so that if you're out there and you have something to say, you can have an opportunity to say it. I have a few things that I wanted to put on the table, but let's go to the phones and see what the feedback is to the King This and That, or for that matter, whatever else you may have to say. Good evening, you're On The Mark.
Good evening, Miss Sherry.
Good evening, my dear.
Psalm 26. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in my integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, before I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my rein and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. Have a good evening.
Thank you, my dear, as always, and thank you for that beautiful scripture. We're taking your calls at 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. Let's go straight back to the phones. Good evening, you're On The Mark.
Hello, sir.
Yes, you're on the air.
How are you? Okay.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. It's Daniel Claxton.
Hey, how are you? How are you, Mr. Claxton?
Trying to pin you down. I think you're a very busy man.
Yes, that happens sometimes.
I was wondering if you could give a shout out to Bath United. We're trying to get to Antigua.
Well, you're on the air, so why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, we're fundraising. We're trying to get the youth to football in Antigua, and we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people to help fundraise and help us get the youth there.
So could you tell us a bit about what's happening in Antigua?
It's a football tournament. We've got the under-17s, the under-15s, the under-13s, and a ladies' team all going to Antigua on the 4th of July. We're nowhere near hitting the targets that we need to hit to get everybody there. We're the only football team from Nevis going. So yeah, we're going to be setting up some fundraising at Bath United, barbecues and football tournaments to help raise as much money as possible.
So do you have an idea of what your budget is to get the teams to Antigua?
Yes, it's a big budget. It's going to cost us best part of 20,000 just in flights to EC to get there, in flights and accommodation.
Okay, and if there are people out there listening who want to make a donation, how do they do that? Who do they contact?
They contact Aisha down at Bath United, or just come to one of the drives. The kids are putting on car washes. Just share everything on Facebook. We're trying to share as much as you can. Try and follow Bath United is where all the information is getting put out. So if you can get onto Bath United's Facebook page, that'd be the best place to share and donate, really.
Okay. Well, all right. And I've committed to you that I will be making a donation, so you can count on that. And I certainly hope that others step up as well to help Bath. Of course, Bath has become the home of football in Nevis. And so we are hopeful that they can make it to Antigua for this festival. So thank you for calling in. Thank you for raising awareness. And you can always call in again in future shows to ensure that we get the information as widely disseminated as possible.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. And so, again, Bath United is trying to get to Antigua. We're asking for donations, and so if you're out there, please help the youngsters. It's very important. Let's go back to the phones and take some more calls. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Good evening, Mr. Premier. How are you doing today?
Good evening, I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, this is Fayon Jones. I'm calling, and I want to just come off of the politics for a while and speak about a quick mango. I have made a discovery tonight. Apparently, we have a new mango on the scene. It's called the Brown Hill mango. Are you familiar with it?
The Brown Hill mango?
Yes, I've tasted it. I'm here at the Wine Down Wednesday, and it's a small mango. It's very sweet. Apparently, there's only one tree left in Brown Hill. Are you familiar with it?
I believe whoever telling you that is probably taking advantage of the fact that you're not from Brown Hill.
I like that. But in either case, I want to say, if anyone could find this tree, I'm willing to give them 50 mangoes off of that tree. Only 50 mangoes. But apart from all that, I just want to put a plug in right now. I want everyone to come to the Nevis Mango Festival. It's from July 2nd to the 5th. And if you haven't gotten your tickets, please get them at www.nevismangofest.com. Again, nevismangofest.com. I want everyone at the Nevis Mango Festival. Mr. Premier, thank you.
What are the dates again? Don't go yet.
It is from the 2nd to the 5th of July, and we have all things mango, over 60 chefs, and it's a beautiful celebration.
And it's
www.nevismangofest.com. And I just want to big up Cox and Screws. They will be there with their new mango wine.
So they got mango wine. Wow.
Yes.
I know last year we had mango beer from both the brewery in St. Kitts and from Nevis Peak.
Yes. And we also now bringing on mango wine.
Fantastic.
Every year it's getting better.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Fayon Jones, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's keep pushing. Whilst we are making announcements, let me just advise those in the diaspora, particularly those who are in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area, those in Boston sometimes, that the government, the Nevis Island Administration, will be making a visit to New York. We're hoping to have a town hall meeting at 1909 Vice Avenue between Boston Road and Tremont Avenue in the Bronx. And that will be on June 13th, Saturday, June 13th. We start, I think, around 6 p.m. And we're coming to have a conversation with our diaspora there about developments in Nevis, so you can get it directly from us, and certainly about encouraging greater investment from the diaspora, greater participation from the diaspora in the life and times and particularly economic affairs of Nevis. And so we are bringing a team to New York. So New York, please look out for us June 13th. That's on a Saturday. It will be at 1909 Vice Avenue between Boston Road and Tremont Avenue in the Bronx. 10460 is the area code, starting at around 6 p.m. Please come out. We'll have something to eat, we'll have something to drink, and we'll be able to fellowship with each other. And the idea really is to bring you information, accurate information, to answer your questions and to let you know what is going on in Nevis, the land of your birth. Let's go back to the phones. No, we've lost that caller. Caller, please call back in. Forgive me. 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. So those who are in New York City, those who are in the various boroughs, those who are in New Jersey, Connecticut, those who are up there in Boston, wherever you are, even if you're in Philadelphia, places like those, I know some people take the drive. Please come and see us. We will be in New York on the 13th of June, Saturday the 13th of June, right there in the Bronx, having a meeting with the people of Nevis and St. Kitts and friends. We want a packed hall. Please show up and let us have a conversation about what's going on our island and in our federation. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Good evening, Honorable Brother Mac. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm well, and good to hear your voice.
Yes, it's my good friend, Brother This and That is there.
He has left. He has left.
Yeah, because I love his music, and I want to ask him what I listened to is some steel pan in his music, and I was very interested to see he arranged his music with steel pan in it.
Yeah, well, as I said, he has left, but he always, and I'm sure he'll be back, God willing, he's always always available and always participating. That's what I admire about him. Win, lose, or draw, this and that is there every year.
That will show who to be real to the culture music and who to be fake. Because someone need to be in it for the money. And when they don't win, they don't want to show back up. But I see you have a hit on your hand, man.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, man. Man, it's lovely. Listen, I listened. I'm going to listen to some more information that you have to let the people know what's going on in Nevis. So I will hang up and listen until.
Thank you very much, my brother, and thank you always for the call.
All right, bro.
All right. Taking your calls, 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. I am just, people have been messaging already saying that they'll be coming to that event in New York with the NIA. We're certainly inviting them on June 13th, right there in the Bronx, 1909 Vice Avenue, between Boston Road and Tremont, Bronx, New York, 10460. So please, if you can, come out and commix and commingle with your government. Hear what the plans and programs are, and certainly hear the update that we bring and the incentives that we have on offer for members in our diaspora. It's very important that we engage with you. You are part of us, and we want you to invest and want you to continue to play a role here with the island and the land of your birth. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Good evening, Honorable Brantley, and how are you doing tonight?
I am doing well, and I'm grateful to hear you, and thank you for calling in.
Okay, I love to hear this and that tune, man.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like to hear you one too. Play it back. Anyway, I would like to read. I'll just read just one verse tonight. It's taken from Isaiah 41 and verse 10. It says, Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Here ended the reading of the scripture. May the Lord add his richest blessing unto it, and you please to have a wonderful night. God bless you. Love you.
Thank you, and I love you too. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate you and appreciate the call. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to take your calls at 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. If you're out there and you want the opportunity to call, please call in. Those, of course, who call earlier get more time. That's the way it works. Some leave it until the very last minute, and then we have to end the show at 10. So we have another hour to go, and I hope that it'll be filled with your calls. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Good night, Mark.
Good evening to you.
Yeah. What the latest with this Destiny thing? I was like you gone on the back burner. I'm not hearing much about it.
Well, I actually dealt with it at my press conference just yesterday. The latest is that the federal government has written to us from sharing the views of the committee that was put in place by Prime Minister Drew. They wrote to us on the 30th of April. We sent a response that was dated the 8th of May. We have since followed up just yesterday, I think, or maybe it was today, but followed up asking for a response. I have heard from the Attorney General today, who said that we shall have a response shortly. So we are still very much hopeful that this project can move forward.
It takes longer than I thought, though. I thought this thing would have done come to a conclusion, you know.
Well, it has taken a very long time indeed. I think it has now been with the federal government for the better part of 4 months, going on 5 months. We got the formal proposal on that project, I believe it was August of last year. And by December, we had a number of town hall meetings, we had a number of engagements, and we were able to write to the federal government on the 23rd of December to indicate what our position was. So they've had it since then, and we continue to wait for a response. We definitely want, I could tell you the investors are very, very anxious to proceed. They have, in many respects, paid additional deposits on lands so that they can continue to have active contracts in relation to those lands. They want to close on the lands. People who are selling their land want to close as well. They're waiting for their money, their final payments. And so the developers are ready to go. They have the capital lined up, and they are very anxious to go in what is estimated to be over $1 billion worth of investment into the country. I will tell you, caller, that I have looked at the recent IMF report that paints a very dire picture for St. Kitts and Nevis over the near term. And I really think that our people need to step away from the emotion and start to look critically at where we are as a country and where we're going to go. The country needs foreign investment. Yes, local investment is also important, but we need large injections of foreign investment in order to move this country to the next level. The Citizenship by Investment program is on the down low. It has struggled, and I believe it will continue to struggle for the foreseeable future. What then are the alternatives? And I think that our people, some of us, are caught up with emotion and are not looking at the practical reality. On the island of Nevis, as I've explained time and time again, we have an average of 300 youngsters coming out of school each year. If you look at it at a 5-year period, over a 5-year term, that's 1,500 young people looking for work. What are we going to do with them? Are we going to send them to St. Thomas and Tortola, send them to St. Martin, send them to America so Trump could send them back home? We need to provide here for our people. We need to attract investment. And now that we've been able to attract investment, you have people out there who are saying, no, it's too big, we don't want it. I'm saying to our people, we need to start to put aside that emotion and start to really think critically about the future of our country. Where are we going to go? How are we going to survive? What are we going to do to expand our economy? These are very, very important considerations. And given the picture painted by the IMF, I think we have now a big project, a project that is proposed that will generate thousands of jobs, generate well over $1 billion in foreign investment, and we are just playing around with it. Concerned that people might be opposed to it, that is okay. People are opposed to Jesus. And that's why I say people all the time, don't get too caught up with people who are opposed, you know. Some are opposed for opposing sake. Because if you ask those people who oppose, what is your proposal to provide jobs to our young people, they don't have an answer. So we need to move. Caller.
I think the project with the magnitude, I think they should stop dragging their foot and do what they have to do, you know. You're going to benefit Nevis and benefit St. Kitts Nevis as a whole.
Of course, it will benefit all of us. So it is time, I think, that we move forward and we get this project going so that the benefits can flow. I have fellows in Nevis who are telling me that they actually are waiting to order additional equipment. Equipment operators are waiting. You have, you know, persons who are masons and carpenters, contractors. People are waiting, and there'll be enough work for Nevis and for St. Kitts. And in fact, I expect that people from elsewhere are going to come in and work as well. That's what it has to be about, taking bold decisions and building the country. The evidence is clear, caller, that if we continue to do the same things we're doing now, this country will not be able to move forward and advance.
Well, I hope the investors they may get impatient, you know, and wish you the best.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. The calls we continue to take at 869-469-1616 and 1700. Going back to this IMF report, ladies and gentlemen, I have looked at it and I recognize that the country is struggling. And I have reflected that whilst I was in the unity government for 7 years, that government collapsed in 2022. And since I have been leader of the opposition, I have been speaking about the over-dependence of the country on citizenship by investment. Where you have a budget that is presented, where one revenue stream, citizenship by investment, is accounting for nearly 60% of that budget, you have a problem. Let's come back to it after I take this call. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark. Hello?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark.
Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah. Catch you. What the lead mango, sweetest mango in an even?
Emery Polly.
Okay. I'll think on the radio. Partners calling says some kind of mango sweet.
He said they found a mango in Brownhill that's sweet. That's what he said.
So wait, nearly everybody in the Nevis now got in the pallet. I mean, just a big plastic bag in the pallet, half the tree.
You get a big bag off your tree?
Yeah, just a job, and I give them away. If you sell them, I sell them out.
All right, brother. Well, enjoy them. It's a lot of mango out there, so definitely enjoy, okay?
Okay.
All right. God bless.
Yeah, I'll listen to you. Take
Okay,
care.
all right. Thanks a million. Emery Poly season, mango season is in Nevis, and we know Nevis have the sweetest mangoes, over 40 varieties, and that's why we're having a mango festival July 2nd to 5th, I think Fayon said. It's all happening here on the island of Nevis. We invite one and all, especially those who are overseas, to come home to enjoy some beautiful mangoes and in mango festival during that time. And then from mango festival, we go straight into Culturama. So there's a lot of activities happening here. But I go back to the IMF report, because the IMF report really has exposed the structural weakness of the St. Kitts Nevis economy. An economy that has for years sat back and depended on CBI money. And when we look at that, we realize that that is a difficulty, because if that spigot were to be turned off, then we are going to have a real problem. Let's take this call, and we're going to come back to discussing the economy. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Hello, good evening. This is Livingstone Williams, a.k.a. Stoneman.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. When you say you have sent the proposal over to St. Kitts, did the Nevis Island administration follow the criteria for submitting the proposal?
We did all that we needed to do, caller. Yes.
Go on.
You asked me a question. I said we did what we needed to do.
You did what you needed to do. So, did you follow all the criteria of the SSD legislation?
I just said to you we did what we needed to do. So obviously we would have followed the legislation, because that's what we need to do.
So, in the proposal, you have all the lands which were submitted in the proposal in hand?
Caller, you called me week after week with the same question, and the answer is not going to change.
Because you never answer.
Caller, the answer is not going to change.
I told you, my name is not caller.
I have said to you time and time again, and I hope this is the last time I have to say it to you.
It won't.
Well, please, can you let me answer? Time and time I've said to you that the proposal that has been sent is in relation to the lands that the developers have secured, either by way of agreement to purchase, or by purchase or otherwise. They have the lands, and that, and only those lands, could be the basis for an SSZ. Nobody can propose an SSZ on lands that they do not own or have access to. I hope that that is now clear, and that you understand what I'm saying.
And I'm going to ask you again. So when I spoke to Spencer Brand, he did not know what he was saying.
I truly do not understand why week after week you call me and ask me about Spencer Brand. Mr. Brand is on radio, is he not?
I said I am speaking to you.
Yes, but I'm asking you, is Mr. Brand on radio?
I am speaking to you as the leader.
You're speaking to me as the leader and asking me questions about what Mr. Brand purportedly said. I have no idea what Mr. Brand said to you.
It's not purportedly. Everybody heard what he said.
Okay, so everybody heard what Mr. Brand said except me. I do not know what Mr. Brand said, so if you want to confront Mr. Brand about something he said, his office is right there in town across from Best Buy.
No, I want to confront you. Because
well, you can't confront me about what Mr. Brand said.
We're supposed to be working together, and you are saying that he did not say so, and as you just admitted, you're the only one who hasn't heard that.
Listen, you cannot confront me about what Mr. Brand said. I'm not Mr. Brand. You confront me about what I said.
Who is in charge of everything?
I don't understand what you mean, who's in charge. God is in charge of everything.
Who is in charge of the NIA?
I am the head of the NIA.
You're the head?
Yes.
and you want to say that you don't know what's going on and what
I am not saying that I don't know what's going on in the NIA. You said and are alleging that Mr. Brand made some comment.
Not alleged. It is a fact.
Okay, well, you say it's a fact. So you keep calling in week after week, making comments, big comments about what Mr. Brand said and asking me to respond to what you say Mr. Brand said. How does that make sense to you, Mr. Williams?
Well, again, as I say, because you are not answering, and you said when I called you on Banky's show that you only had 70% of the land.
Mr. Williams, you keep, I am not sure.
Did you not say so?
Mr. Williams, I am trying. You're calling.
So?
Mr. Williams, this show is a big platform. And everybody's listening. You're calling week after week, and I am trying to understand what really is the purpose of your call, because you just said the same things over and over.
Again, did you not say so?
Did I not say what, sir?
When I called you on Banky's show and I asked you the question, how much of the land do you have after you had submitted it to the St. Kitts government? Did you not say about 70%?
This is what the developers advised, that they had about that much of the lands that they were seeking to target.
Not what the developers said, sir. I asked you, and you said quite clearly,
yes,
it is what lands that you had submitted.
Okay, so
in the proposal.
So what then is?
Said you had 70%.
So what then?
Mr. Brand said the same thing you said.
Okay, so what then is the point that you want to make tonight?
So the point is, and I asked you earlier, did you follow the instructions of the SSB legislation?
I answered you. So I answered you. So
the legislation says that any proposal must be accompanied by 100% of the lands, not 70, not 60, not 10, not 99. 100%.
Mr. Williams, let me try. Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams.
Does it not state so?
Mr. Williams, let me try again. I'm going to try this last time with you. Okay?
Does it not state so?
Mr. Williams, let me try again with you. It's difficult, but we are here to help each other.
No, you don't have to try with me. Just answer. Does the legislation not say that any proposal must be accompanied by the lands?
Mr. Williams.
That's a simple yes or no.
Mr. Williams, can I answer you?
I say that's a simple yes or no.
Well, if I am answering, you have to hush. You're going to keep talking?
I say it's a simple yes.
But how can I tell you yes or no if you don't hush?
I don't want no stories, you know.
A conversation requires that when I speak, you be quiet, and when you speak, I be quiet. Isn't that the way a conversation goes?
I don't want no stories. Go on.
So let me answer you this way.
Yes.
The legislation does provide that the land over which a zone is to be declared has to be owned and or under the control and or in the possession of the developer. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Okay, good. Now, the developer said that they were targeting X amount of land.
How much land?
I can't remember the number. I think it was 2,400 acres, something like that. Right?
Go ahead.
How much land is not relevant right now?
It is very relevant.
It is not relevant to my answer. Maybe relevant to you, but not to my answer. The developer said they were targeting X amount of land. What I've been trying to explain to you for the past several weeks is that you could only declare zone over the land that the developers have secured. So if the developers said we are targeting X, but what they've secured is only 70% of X, then they can only declare zone over the 70%. You keep talking about 100% of the land as if you can't understand it, that it is 100% of what they've secured. Not what they say they want, but what they've got. So I'm trying my best to help you to understand the basic tenet here, but week after week you're calling and you ask me the same question. Well, what is it about what I've just said that you do not understand?
Well, this is what I don't understand,
yes.
Mr. Brantley.
Yes.
And I know you're going to say you're not to do with what Spencer Brand said.
If you're going back to Spencer Brand, then we might as well hang up the phone and move on, because you're not making any sense right now.
I let you finish, so let me finish.
Listen, if you're going back to Spencer Brand, you're wasting my time and you're wasting everybody's time.
On the same show, Webber Herbert asked Spencer Brand, the proposal you have put to St. Kitts, does it include Mr. Williams' land, which he has not sold? And he said yes.
Well, again...
So can you explain that?
I cannot explain what you say Mr. Brand said.
No, not what I say.
You can call Mr. Brand. It seems to me that you have... It seems to me, Mr. Williams... It seems to me that you're having a little issue with Mr. Brand. If you want to have a chat with Mr. Brand, you can have coffee, you can have a drink, you can have a beer. Go and look for Mr. Brand. Okay?
The issue with you for not being truthful.
Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams, you have a good night. And I hope as you sleep tonight, you start to get something that is called discernment and understanding. Because you seem to be saying that I am lying to you, because I can't tell you what Mr. Brand said and respond to Mr. Brand. Mr. Brand is a public figure. Go look for him. Mr. Brand is on radio. When Mr. Brand is next on radio, here's my advice. Call in and speak to him. What absolute rubbish you keep calling in and asking me to justify or otherwise what someone else said. And that makes sense to you? And then because I cannot answer you and tell you what you want to hear, you have the audacity to refer to me as a liar. I've never lied to you. My answers to you have been consistent. If you cannot understand the answer, then I'm sorry. I couldn't understand calculus in school. That doesn't mean the math teacher didn't do his job. It just means that I was dunce. That's all it meant. I was dunce because I couldn't understand the calculus. I'm just saying to you, you must try to work on understanding basic principles and basic tenets. If you ask me a question and I answer your question, I tell you what the position is. Your default is to tell me what somebody else said. Well, if you have a problem with that somebody else and what they're saying, confront them. How are you going to confront me on the basis of what somebody else you allege said? And that is, to my mind, the nonsense of your position. I don't mean to denigrate you in any way, but you call week after week with the same foolishness, and it just seems to me that you're going to keep calling because you're just not getting the calculus. You just don't understand the calculus. I don't know what else to do. I will go and tell you what I'm going to do. They have a thing called Duolingo, and it teaches foreign languages. I'm going to learn to speak Spanish. So the next time I come on your call, I will say, Senor Williams, me llamo Marco Brantley, estoy aquí. ¿Cómo se dice teaching? Somebody out there who speaks Spanish, because I want to say estoy aquí to teach you basic principles, because that's all I can do. If at the end of the day you can't grasp those basic principles, and that's a you problem, that's not on me. You can't blame me for that and then turn around and tell me I lie because you don't like the answer that you're getting. Let's go back to the phones and take some more calls. Good evening, you're on the mark. Caller, please call back in. 869-469-1616 and 1700. Those are the numbers. Yes, so I was speaking about the economy and the fact that the economy has been largely dominated by citizenship by investment. Now that we're having a difficulty with citizenship by investment, the economy naturally is struggling. And I think that really we should have embarked years ago, not just now, but years ago, on a diversification platform. Now here in Nevis, we recognize that for some time. Of course, we never had access to the flows from CBI like St. Kitts did. In fact, when we did our analysis, St. Kitts got 92% of those monies, we got 8%. And so we recognize the difficulties, and we have started, during COVID, we started a movie industry. That's evidence of our efforts at diversification. We started recently a gaming industry. That's indication, again, evidence of our diversification. We have enhanced significantly our financial services industry. And even now we are out there in the marketplace aggressively promoting Nevis and seeking to create new opportunities for new revenue streams. We have championed geothermal energy because we think that that can be transformational insofar as our economy is concerned. And to buttress all that, we have decided that we want to develop the Van Samer International Airport to allow more airlift, to allow that airport to complement what happens at the RLB, and to promote more private jet traffic coming into the island of Nevis. We have been out there seeking relationships with neighboring islands like St. Bart's, realizing that our clientele and their clientele is the same clientele, and we are pushing. I want our people to understand that none of these things are isolated. They're all connected. We have been out there, we have been beating the drums, we have been working hard. Last week, I went to St. Bart's with a delegation at the Saveur Caribe, where Nevis was featured. I left and went to St. Lucia, where I was the featured speaker at the STEP conference as I promote financial services in Nevis. And then I left St. Lucia and went to Miami, where I was an invited guest at the Amplify Summit being put on there by Liberty. Liberty is now the entity that owns Flow. And again, every opportunity is about promoting Nevis. And yes, as part of that diversification, we supported the Sustainable Zone legislation that was passed in St. Kitts, and the first proposal that we've had under that legislation is the Destiny Project. I want the people of Nevis, those at home and those abroad, those who are listening to me tonight, to understand that this government is seeking to work to a plan. We're not doing things in some haphazard fashion. All that I've mentioned, movie industry, gaming industry, expansion of the financial services industry, Destiny and the SSZ legislation, geothermal and renewable energy, they're all part and parcel of our efforts to expand our economy and to diversify our economy. Because we recognize very early that citizenship by investment, putting all our eggs in that basket, didn't make sense. And so the country now is going through a very difficult period, because on St. Kitts, unfortunately, they have remained wedded to the idea of citizenship by investment. And that idea is still a viable idea, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to pay the dividends that it used to. I think those years of $600 and $700 million in revenue, I think those years are over. And so now that that is going to adjust and become just another part of the economy, the question now is, how do we diversify this economy further and create new opportunities? Those children that I'm saying are coming out of school, if 300 are coming out each year in Nevis, I would say 4 times that at least are coming out in St. Kitts. So what are we going to do? Are we going to start to go back to the big countries with cap in hand saying, poor me, please help me? Look at St. Kitts, our sister. And I'm not making a political statement when I say this, but I think the facts need to be examined. That based on our analysis, because the numbers have not ever been clear in terms of CBI receipts, but based on our analysis here in Nevis, in the period leading up to 2022, and incidentally 2022 I believe was the biggest year for CBI receipts. In the period leading up to 2022, the country had received over $5 billion. That's with a B. $5 billion. Over $2 billion US dollars. And I say it all the time because I think it needs to be said that of that, Nevis got a pittance. But from the pittance that Nevis got, we developed our water system in Nevis. We bought 3 generators at Nevlik to bolster our electricity services. We built the Wally Water Taxi Facility, Newcastle Police Station, new Treasury Building in Charlestown, Mondo Track. All of that was done. But let me go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Mr. Brantley.
Yes, good evening to you.
Yes. As far as the Destiny proposal goes, my understanding is that that zone that you're trying to sell off, tax-free, it's a tax-free zone. How are you proposing to collect money to run the island of Nevis if it's all tax-free and everything free over there?
So,
if you're not going to go over the cap in hand.
Caller,
Because I haven't heard.
Yes.
I have not heard any ways and means, but empty promises and nothing to prove, nothing to back it up.
Okay.
So could you answer that question for me, please?
All right.
The second question.
Yes.
The second question is, what are we doing about all these government buildings that we have locked down around Charlestown?
What are all the buildings you mentioned?
Paying rent.
What are all the buildings you mentioned are locked down? Please, can you help us?
Mr. Brantley, you don't know what buildings you have in Charlestown locked down?
You're the person calling, so tell me.
There's a cotton ginnery building in town.
Yes.
There's a water where the water department used to be. All them locked down and you're paying rent for places. Why not fix these places up and save some of the revenues that you're paying out?
Who are we paying the rent to?
You know, Mr. Brantley.
I'm just asking a question.
Could you just answer my question?
Yes, but I'm asking you something as well. That's what the conversation is about. So who are we paying the rent to?
There's also some other buildings around town that are locked down.
But I asked you a question. Who are we paying the rent to?
Mr. Brantley, work those things out for yourself.
Okay.
You say you are the one who put yourself up for public office.
Yes, but you have decided to call my show.
Work those out.
But you have decided to call my show.
Say again?
You have decided to call my show.
No, I have not decided to call your show. You have opened your show for us to call.
And so you never pick up your phone and call?
Just a minute. And when we call,
yes,
we expect answers, and we're not getting any answers.
So you only want answers, you don't want a conversation?
And diversion.
So you don't want a conversation? That's what you're saying?
Pardon?
You do not want a conversation. You just want to call, say what you have to say, and that's it?
No, I do not want any diversion.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Now, let me just answer you this way. You talk about buildings are in town and buildings are shuttered. And yes, there are some buildings that the government has. The Cotton Ginnery building, I think that is a long-term, large-scale project. So I'm not even going to touch that for the moment. The courthouse is currently closed because there are some issues there. We will be addressing those shortly. The water department building that you spoke about, that has been renovated as far as I'm aware, and that building should be reoccupied fairly soon. But I think, caller, the reason I asked you the question, you say, oh, the government is paying rent and the government could be saving that money. And I ask you, who are we paying the rent to? Because if the government is paying rent, the government is paying rent to divisions. We're paying rent to landlords and landladies who have properties in town for rent. So put differently, if the government were to withdraw from all of those buildings that the government currently rents and only go into government-owned buildings, what will happen to those people who are dependent on rentals to pay their mortgages and to finance what they're doing? You see, when we look at government and we look at the role of government, we have to take a broad view. And sometimes ideas sound good because we don't really think about them broadly. We just say, well, I have a point to make, so let me call in and make the point. And then we feel like we've scored a point, and so we say, all right. But if the government were to fix up all the government buildings and decide, listen, everybody know we stop paying rent, what happens? Who replaces that rental income for those people, and what happens to their buildings? Because they are also in a vision and they would have invested expecting a return on their investment. So we have to consider that, caller. The first question you asked, again, suggests to me that you don't understand how economies work, because economies are not just only run by taxes. The Four Seasons, for example, when they came, was essentially tax-free. But the employment that was generated, the construction that was generated, the sales in the economy that were generated, all contributed significantly to the growth of the Nevis economy. You go down to St. Martin, I'm told that St. Martin is a duty-free port. I'm not sure if it still is. And so St. Martin doesn't collect anything at the port as far as I'm aware. But the St. Martin economy is booming, because you understand that sometimes when you forego taxes here, you collect on the other end through employment and through activity in the economy. So everybody who's employed going to go to Rams and buy, they're going to go to Nevlec and get the electricity, they go to water department, they come to you and they buy whatever goods or services you might be selling. And that activity in the economy generates greater revenue for the government, because that activity is activity that will generate revenues. And so we have, again, when we start to think about economies, look at the economies in the main. The only thing that runs an economy is not taxes, you know. Taxes are important. But you have to understand that sometimes when you forego taxes on the one hand, you're looking to collect on the other through employment, through increased activity, through sales, and through just the growth of the economy. That, caller, is where the benefits are intended to flow. Let's go back to the phones and take some more calls. We have half an hour left. Caller, did we lose that caller? A caller, please call back in at 869-469-1616 and 1700. We would be pleased to hear what you have to say. Please forgive me, but here we go. Phones are ringing, so let's go back. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Good evening. Mr. Premier, please allow me 2 minutes to read a letter that I have in front of me,
Okay.
and then I'll ask my question right after. The letter is dated the 12th September 2019 to a Mr. Patrick Brown. And the reason why I want to read the letter, because the caller in front of me spoke of some buildings that the government has down. And the letter reads, as you are aware, and this is to Mr. Patrick Brown, as you are aware, the Nevis Island Administration has recently purchased the Huggins residence at Farms Estate, Nevis. We will shortly be carrying out some much-needed repairs on the property. This letter therefore seeks to inform you that you should vacate the premises on or before the 28th September 2019. Failure to comply will result in legal actions up to and including physical removal of your belongings from the premises. Please be guided accordingly. And this letter was signed by Wakely Daniel, your permanent secretary.
Yes.
Can you please tell us what's going on with that building? And I am really going to listen to you off here and hope that we can get an answer, because this letter since 12 December 2019
Okay. Thank you
is
very
telling me that
Yes.
the government is really not looking income and revenue. So I listen off here.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not sure what this has to do with income and revenue. That property was purchased. There was somebody living in the property who was taking care of the property. My understanding is on behalf of those from whom it was purchased. That letter was asking that person to vacate on the basis that the government wanted vacant possession of the property that was now the property of the government. Let me put it this way to you, caller. If you're living in a house and the owner of that house were to sell the house to somebody else, that somebody else has every right to ask you to leave the house, vacate the house, because they want their house to be vacant. Now, separate to that, you've asked what is happening with that property. That property, let me explain again, I think I've done so before, that we had no real intentions or need to purchase the house itself. What we sought to do was to engage with the Huggins family to purchase some lands from them for the expansion of the Charlestown Cemetery. That is a cemetery that we call Britannic. You know, the Britannic goes up to their lands, and we wanted to purchase lands from them. We said to have for the future if there's a need for expand the cemetery. The Huggins family responded and said, we're not going to sell you any piece of the land, you have to buy it all. And all included the house that was there. So we had no immediate use for the house. That was never our immediate intention. But since that was a deal that they offered, we went ahead and we purchased. I think it was about 7 acres, if memory serves. And so that included the house that was there. And we decided that we would want the house vacated so that we could have vacant property. The idea, therefore, is that that property is now available. We as a government have not yet decided what we're going to do with it. Whether we're going to cut it into lots and sell it because it's in a very desirable neighborhood, or we're going to do something else with it. But that is the explanation in relation to that property. So those 7 acres now belongs to the government and people of the island of Nevis because of our efforts in that regard. But the initial approach was really to buy a portion of it for the expansion of the cemetery there at Britannic, because I think we'll all agree that we're running out of space at that particular sacred facility there at the Britannic. And so that caller is the explanation. Now, in relation to the letter that you've mentioned, it was a letter seeking to get vacant possession since the ownership had changed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking your calls at 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. Those are the numbers to call if you'd like to be a part of the show this evening. So, I was going back. Well, I think the phone is lit up, so let me try this caller then before I go back. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark. Hello?
Hey, Brantley, good night.
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm in our Mark. Me Mark a friend. Listen, for months now, me hear Carlisle promote one bridge, building one bridge.
Who named Carlisle?
Carlisle Powell.
Ah, okay.
Former cricketer, the president of the Cricket Association.
You said the surname, so I know who you mean now, so you could go ahead. Yes.
Me make us say something else, but you cut in. Me may say, when the cricketers them go there Antigua, you promote Stuart Williams and so coach and so, but you never say nothing about the president. Anyway, so for months now, he promote building one bridge from St. Kitts to Nevis. Are you you in agreement with that?
I think that's a matter that would require a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of talk about it for some time, but it requires careful analysis, and I can't tell you that I'm in agreement or disagreement at this point. I just think that that's a matter that we'll have to discuss.
Okay, good idea or bad idea?
I just answered you. You just asked the question.
No, you know, answer. Good. You say. Here, let me repeat what you said. To show you that me listen to you. You say I want something that we take a lot of discussion and so forth. So I ask you now if I want good idea or a bad idea.
And my answer is the same. It is a matter that would require some discussion. Before we can determine it's a good idea or bad idea, I would want to know and really explore the ramifications of it.
So, just listen to the cars. He come with... Look.
Listen to what?
Just listen to the program.
Listen to what program?
Carlisle, bridge building program.
No, I confess I don't listen.
Oh, okay,
yes.
Okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Let me move on.
Yes.
Premier Brantley, the dialysis building that you build when you go done?
Caller, we are doing some construction at the hospital, and I've said as recently as my press conference yesterday that I will be making a formal statement to the Nivision people on that matter. There was an outstanding issue that we were trying to resolve, and as soon as that matter is resolved, I had hoped to make a statement this week. I may still be able to do so, I'm not yet sure. But at that point, I will be making a clear statement as to what we're doing. And so I'm not prepared to engage in any further discussions on it until such time as that statement is made and I can make a clear statement to our people as to what we're doing, why, and what the objectives are. So I can't engage with you tonight about building and when building is going to finish. You'll just have to hold on and be patient like everyone else is being asked to be patient. And indeed, I am being patient because I would have wanted to have said something some time ago.
That understood.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brown, Antigua call election 2 years before you. Anytime soon for the election of Nevis?
Well, I honestly am not prepared yet to give NRP more licks. I think that they need some time to recover. When you beat a child, you can't just beat the child and just beat them every day. You have to give them some chance. So I let them lick their wounds for a little while, and then I will bang them again. So listen out. I will make an announcement in due course.
Premier Brantley, Premier Brantley. Okay. Here what me go ask, and then we give somebody else something. Since you hit the NRP, the NRP not satisfied with the electoral.
I can't hear you that well, caller. You could speak up a bit. I'm not sure what's going on. I was hearing you fine. Now I'm not hearing you that well.
Yes, you hear me better?
Yes.
Yes. So, Mr. Well, since you hit the NRP, the NRP is not satisfied with the electoral commission and whatever do. Would you join with the NRP and the meeting with the electoral commission to get whatsoever concerns they got straightened out?
If they have concerns, they have an avenue to air their concerns. They don't need me to join them. When they were in government and had access to the electoral office in a very unfortunate way, they used the electoral office to thief an election. So if they're having problems now, tell them to go to the electoral commission, tell them to go to the federal government and have those problems addressed. I am not involved in myself with NRP in anything to do with elections, because the only party in Nevis ever thief an election is them. Nobody else has ever been found by a court of law to be null and void but them. So if they claim they're having problems, let them go through the channels and deal with their problems. That is my position on that. We all have our concerns and difficulties sometimes, but if they want to make an issue out of it, then let them go and address that with the commission. If the CCM has a problem, the CCM will do the same. And the last time I know we had major problems in that electoral office, it was NRP who was engaged in taking off people's name off the voters list. We had to go to court and get that matter dealt with in the court.
So you may get that party straightened out?
We got it straightened out. We get a whole man kick out, say null and void. All now we can't recover.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember your party name, the Concerned Citizens of Nevis, right?
Concerned Citizens Movement, absolutely.
All right, exactly. So the NRP, them are citizens, right or wrong?
Of course they are.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So you're not concerned about them cry? Because you're the concerned citizen.
I'm concerned about everybody on this island. I'm not concerned about NRP's claim that they're having issues with the electoral office, because as I explained to you, right? If you're dealing with people, listen, if you hear a thief bawling out saying the window too high and he can't jump in, what are you going to do? You're going to be concerned about the thief? No, you tell the thief stay where you are. What are you going to lower the window for the thief to jump in?
Premier Brantley, the explanation that you give me.
The what?
The explanation that you give me. You run around the bush. You're not really actually answer me.
No, I'm not running around. I'm telling you there are avenues if a party has concerns. I'm simply saying that the NRP has a particular history, caller. You cannot run away from it because it was ventilated in the court of law.
Yeah, but I will talk about a free and fair election.
Yes.
So you need everybody to satisfy. So may I ask, if you're willing to join, get to the electoral commission. So at the end of the day, you satisfy and then satisfy the electoral commission, satisfy, so then you're going to free and fair election.
I am saying, and I've answered you. Let me answer you for the final time. If they have an issue, then let them go and use the avenues that are available to them. They don't need me to join them.
Okay, can you remember me?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, my brother, and I hope all is well with you.
Yeah, they celebrate my birthday on the 15th, so you never wish me happy birthday.
Oh Lord, well my apologies. Happy birthday. How old are you? 21?
Much older than that.
You're finally legal.
We got great. Yeah, we great on, huh?
You're great on, you say?
Yeah.
All right, well I hope you had a good birthday, brother.
So if we get a chance to make it back in, come me want to ask you about the all of that one time.
Yes.
The 4 seasons.
The what you say?
The 4 seasons.
Yes.
Still.
Yes.
Right. It was under Sim Daniel, right?
It came under Dr. Daniel, yes.
Yes. And while me come under, did you ever kick against it?
Well, to be honest with you, at the 4th season came, I was a youngster at that time. I can't really tell you. I wasn't politically active. The 4th season would have come in 1989. I think they started. They opened in 1990. In 1989, I was still quite young.
Okay.
So I wasn't involved at all politically, but my understanding was that there was a lot of opposition to the Four Seasons coming, but I wasn't part of that.
Okay. Okay, have a safe night.
Okay, you too, brother. All right.
Okay.
Good. Thank you very much. We're going to stick with the phones. We have about 14 minutes left. Let's go back to the phones. We missed that caller. Caller, please call back in. 869-469-1616 and 1700. Let's go straight to the phones and say good evening. You're on the mark. Caller?
Yes, the Premier.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
I called earlier about the Huggins residence
yes.
at Farmington Estate, and you mentioned that the property was bought solely to extend the cemetery.
Well, I tried to explain how the transaction came about. Yes.
Okay. What I want to ask you is, was there any renovation at all done to the building itself on that property?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, so if you were to find out that there was some renovation that started, would you say that that's something that, like you say, you don't know?
Well, I'm not aware that any renovations were done on the property. I do know at one point that we were talking about using the property for the army. I think that was during some time that we were having some, how should I put it, difficulties in terms of crime. And unfortunately, Bart Village was having some difficulties of its own, and there was some discussion, but I am not sure that any work had been done. I can find out, but I'm not sure that any work had been done.
You're not aware.
I'm not aware. No.
You wanted it for the army, but you're not aware as of today that some kind of renovation started on that property. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying to you. Yes.
Okay. I'll take you for your word, but if you were to find out differently, I hope that you will come back and make a correction and let us know exactly who was doing the renovation and why it was done and who ordered it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Caller, this property seems to be of some interest to you. Certainly you can also call me off air if you like and discuss it, because I get the sense that there's more in the martyr than the pestle, as the old people would say. But I've tried to explain as best as I can what I'm aware of in relation to that particular property. Let's go back to the phones and continue to take your calls. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark. Hello.
Good evening, Honorable. Any update on the airport project?
Yes, caller. In fact, I just got an email that indicated that we hope to have a groundbreaking next month on that project. As you know, we have not yet been able to get the federal government to sign off on the loan from Taiwan for the landward side of the project, but on the airport side, that is the runway and allied works for the runway, that funding is still secured, and so we have decided to proceed with that aspect of it, even as we speak to the federal government about the funding from Taiwan. So I am told that we should have a groundbreaking next month.
But then, but this seems like over time. I mean, the federal government not be able to still up now. I mean, we understand. I mean, the nature of the reason why, but then that taking so long.
Well, these things. What can I say, Cole? I don't know. I mean, they take time. We are discussing. We understand the federal government is concerned about the debt to GDP ratio. But our argument is a simple argument that an airport actually will expand your GDP. It will increase your GDP. And one of the best ways to impact your debt to GDP ratio is to expand your GDP. That's why we are saying projects like the airport, like geothermal, like Destiny, they're all going to lead to multiples in terms of expansions of our economy. And once your GDP expands, your debt to GDP ratio is impacted positively. So there are two ways to do it. Either your economy remains stagnant, your GDP remains stagnant, and you try to reduce your debt. Nothing is wrong with that. But you could also, at the same time, try to expand your GDP, try to expand your economy, and that also will impact your debt to GDP ratio. So to me, these types of projects are projects that will expand your economy and your GDP. And so I am still very, very much encouraged that the federal government will see the benefit of supporting this project. And I should say, in all fairness to Prime Minister Drew, that he supported this project because the loan that we've secured from Taiwan he would have written a letter saying that he was in support of the project, and that's the basis on which Taiwan proceeded. Now that the loan has been finalized, however, the technocrats are saying, well, you know, this is going to push us over the line. So we are saying, listen, this is an important project, not only for Nevis, but for the Federation. This is an important project to grow the economy and expand the GDP. Let us proceed with the project and get it done. So that is where we are. But while we're waiting on that, we're saying we're not going to let the left hand be held up because the right hand is held up. We're proceeding on the runway and those works there. So we expect to see some action over there in another month.
Wow, boy. I don't know. I mean, the thing about things, whenever they're doing any projects, they're going doing what they have to do to help themselves. But when it comes about Nevis, like, they don't really showing much interest. But that's what it boils down to them put it in a sophisticated way.
Well, it is.
How we see it at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
Well, it's the nature of the Constitution.
They're not concerned about Nevis development. They see Nevis development as a threat.
Well, Caller, I think
it's obvious.
That's the nature of the constitutional construct that we have, that there are certain things that Nevis simply cannot do. Taiwan is more than willing to lend us the money, but Taiwan is a sovereign dealing with a sovereign. Nevis is not sovereign. The federal government is a sovereign entity.
One way. It's going to be a hard exercise, but I feel it's them in a force to go back to the people and say, hey, we need to go. And this time, it has to be successful. Because it is ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caller. Let's go back to the phones. I think somebody else is holding. Good evening, Caller. You're on the mark. Hello?
Good night to the Honorable Premier. Good night,
my
to
brother.
the
You're
Honorable
on the
Mark.
air.
Good night. Yeah, Mark. I just a while ago tuning because I went out.
Yes.
Because I don't miss your program.
All right. So you're going to have to be quick tonight because we run out
Yes,
of time.
I got to be quick, yeah.
Yes.
Mark, what the guy from Murchat asked something there, right? If you'd have listened to the program with Carly Powell them, right? And you said no, right? But
yes.
I believe that if we in a democratic country, in a democratic process, I believe them supposed to listen to your program and you listen to the program. And I believe that you're supposed to be able to call in on the program and interact with them. And them supposed to call in the program. You know, and I believe that the political tribalism and these things will more. And young people will understand the politics more better. You understand? I believe that we're supposed to call in, not somebody calling you because they're supporting your supporting the government and they're praising you for everything and whatsoever. Because them is opposition now and they call in and saying this thing wrong when nothing like that goes on. I believe if we live in a democratic country, we got a democratic process. As we say, you're supposed to be able to listen to them and challenge them. And they're supposed to be able to call into a program and challenge you. You understand? And interact with them with the things them that say about the government and all those things.
But Caller, I hear you, but there's an important difference.
Yes.
And I just hear me out. I don't take issue with what you're saying. And anybody can call this show. Tonight we've had a number of callers who are not supporters of me or this party, but they call anyway. People are entitled to pick up the phone and call if they so desire. I think the difference was the caller asked me if I listen, and the answer is no. And I tell you why the answer is no, because I actually, believe it or not, have a job to do. I am out there working every day for the people of Nevis. I don't have time to listen to every radio station and every radio program. If something is said that is of some relevance, somebody will let me know that something was said, and then I will try to address that. And if,
Mark, let me tell you something.
Let me just wait, let me finish. If they're
people, right? If I was a politician, I was a premier or prime minister, anything, I will listen to all the way the talk shows. As long as they challenge me, I'm supposed to be able to
yes,
counteract
but that means you're not going to do any work. Because if all you do is listen to radio every day, well, what time you want to get to do the people's work?
Well, Mark, you got to find time. You must find time with them to correct them. I mean, if they're spreading propaganda, you must find time to correct them with the propaganda they're spreading.
Okay, all right. Well, that is your view. I don't share that view because my view is that these fellas, most of them are not working. They spend all day on radio because that's all they do.
Because
and
now, let me tell you something.
I have a job to do.
And listen now, you know that we don't in a small island, we small, and people gonna believe them when they say these things about what happening in the government and in happening for you or whatsoever. So if you come on now, people gonna feel good. Look the premier calling and the premier counteract them. And the opposition calling for the premier program and you know, this will, I believe that will make the democratic process a little more better and the calling shows a little more better.
Okay, well, that's your view.
People will understand.
That's your view, Call, and I respect your view.
All right then, okay then. All right then.
Thank you very much. All right, great. We have about 5 minutes left. We can take perhaps another call or two. But just so the caller understands that, as I said, I have a job to do. And if I use my time to do my job, to interact with people, to deal with real issues, caller, you have to appreciate that these fellas, they don't work anywhere. Some of them haven't held a job for years, and they don't intend to work anywhere unless they can persuade the people of Nevis to put them back in government, because that's what they want. They want to get their snouts in the public trough. They don't have any other plan. They don't have a plan B. They don't own a business. They don't do anything. They go on radio, they go on internet, and they cuss all day. Now, if I'm going to spend all my time engaging with them, you think they can be persuaded? They don't want to hear about the truth. The kind of stories, every morning I wake up in Nevis is in crisis. You know, there's a new crisis, there's a new breaking news, there's a new video. Every day. So, you don't seem to understand the magnitude of what is at stake here. And I am saying that I actually was elected by the people to work for them. I have work to do. I don't have time to be listening to foolishness on radio and be calling in to say, oh, that is not true, this is the position, because they're not interested. You think they don't know what the truth is? You think when a man went and said how Ivor Walters Primary School is shut down because of a cockroach infestation and put up a picture of the biggest German cockroach I ever see. This is not an Antigua monstrous cockroach, a German cockroach. And the man said, that is the infestation. I pick up my phone, oh my God, what is going on at Ivor Walters? The principal said, Mr. Brantley, what are you talking about? The school up here running good. The children just had their lunch. Everything is normal. People just put these things out there. And what am I to do? Respond to all of that? I can't kick at every barking dog, caller. I apologize, but there's a saying. You kick at every barking dog, you'll never get up the hill. So I'm not going to waste my time engaging with foolishness, because it really, at the end of the day, doesn't benefit me, and more importantly, it does not benefit the people of Nevis. And those are who I have to think about. Let's go back to the phones and take this quick call. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark. Hello?
Listen, I got up here.
Yes, you got to be very quick because the music has struck up. It means we have to go.
Yes, I'm going to make it short and nice.
Yes.
I'm very troubled to see that so much development is required between both Sinkers and Nevis. And when it comes to how the acquirement of economics are sourcing in these development, we're seeing a lot of tangles and wrangles between corporation and trust. And this is guarding to our young ones, them coming along. So if this is how we're going, we better go to that mess. You have a blessed night.
All right. Okay. Caller, I'm not quite sure the point you're making, but thank you for making the point. And perhaps there are people out there who understand implicitly what it is you're saying. But I confess that I'm not quite sure what you're saying. But thank you for calling in nevertheless. This show has come to an end. The band has struck up. It means we have to go. I want to thank all the callers. Some understood what was at stake, some didn't appear to understand, but nevertheless, the fact that they exercised their right to pick up a phone and call, the fact that they took that decision makes this show worthwhile. I think sometimes people get upset with me and they say, oh, cut off that person and cut off this person, but the reality is that these people have taken the decision to call and to share their views. We may not agree with them, as indeed they may not agree with me, but they have a right to do so. And so I am grateful to them, to everybody who called, everybody who was a part of the show this evening. I am truly, truly grateful. I say thank you to one and all. And this show is rebroadcast right here on Vaughan Radio at 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's our show. Good evening, and God bless you, and have a wonderful night's rest.
Views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Nevis Broadcasting Company Limited or its advertisers.